Oh my goodness. Hello, welcome. Thank you so much for your subscription and for being here with me right now on the mat. I know you're here because you are going, oh my goodness, I need to be on the mat. That's the truth. Yeah, we could all use a little mat time. So, on that note, let's get started. This is a 45-minute practice. The practice is a fluid practice of whatever. You guys know this by now. Those that are new to this practice, you may feel, wow, that's how this practice is. It really is fluid. Some days you come to the mat, you feel invigorated. Some days you come to the mat, you feel like you need a boost, a lift. So let's get started by getting comfortable on the mat. And there is no editing. It is what it is. There may be sounds and interruptions around me while I am recording this live, and I don't edit it. The dog may bark. It's because this is reality. Reality is reality. And the most beautiful part of this practice is that loving yourself, giving yourself the message of peace, serenity, transformation with peace and serenity is the big support for today. We are all here right now during a very turbulent time, but it doesn't need to be like a tsunami. It doesn't need to be that turbulent because our words, what we say to ourselves, what we say in our mind's eye are very important. When you look into the mirror, and this is the yoga practice for today, and for those who are new, I know you know who I am. Welcome, and thank you again. But know that when we look inside ourselves, that it's pure love and everything we need is within us. This is a wonderful practice to move the body and feel good about yourself. And this is a therapeutic practice. It most often is for recovery, and everyone's in recovery. It's what we choose to think and how we feed ourselves with words. Like if you look in the mirror or just walking around the house doing your stuff and say, oh, I'm not worthy enough, I'm not good enough, I'm not strong enough, I'm not. Those words are very harmful. They're like a tsunami. They destroy. But when you start to fill your heart and your mind's eye with words like, you're strong, you're vibrant, you're a gift, you're loved, the universe is supporting you and asking you to share your divineness, meaning your gifts. And then there's a different energy to you. So the practice of yoga is to come back to divine, because we forgot that we are divine. So a lot of us are struggling with those kind words to ourselves, like, I'm not strong enough, I'm not brave enough, I'm not kind enough. You are, it's a choice. If yesterday you were not nice, you were not kind, you were not good to yourself, you were doing terrible things to yourself and others, today you can turn that around. Being here with me on the mat is turning that around and being kind to yourself. So I want to start off in our throat chakra today. So this place is the expression. So I'm going to invite everyone to get comfortable and sit nice and tall as well as you can. Chair, bolster, whatever you need. And remember, you want to have your blocks, your strap, your blanket. And then let's be in our sovereign selves and noticing what is the first thought that comes to your mind's eye. Oh, and there we go. The distractions. My neighbor is chopping down trees, and I think it's awesome because I get more sunlight, but yet it's very noisy. So hopefully you can still really hear me resonate with this. So in your mind's eye, what's the first thing you do want to say to yourself? Like you're brave, you're kind, you're energetic, you're creative, you're successful. Say it. Just say it. Say it to yourself. And maybe it's I'm beautiful, I'm sexy. It's you in your space. So give yourself permission to feel that love, to be in it. Close your eyes and give yourself permission to feel what it is that you are providing yourself with positivity of divine, positive affirmations. I'm sexy, I'm beautiful, I'm powerful, I'm creative, I'm successful, whatever it is. So closing your eyes while I close my other door, and start to feel what that feels like. Feel what it feels like. Notice. Notice the sensations. It's like if you love swimming in the lake naked, it's not swimming in the like naked. It's the sensation of that feeling, that give yourself permission. Allow yourself to feel what that goodness is. Feel it in your body. This is yoga. So feel your body in response to what thoughts. And as you're doing that, begin your belly breathing. Allow yourself to breathe so beautifully into your chest, into your lungs, to the fullness of your lungs, that you feel your belly bellow as you feel the sensations of those thoughts. Like courageous, I'm courageous. Maybe you feel like a superhero, like, yeah. You can be really courageous and brave and strong and loving at the same time. So I'm going to give you a minute just to really soak into that, steep in it. I've been critiquing myself so much about my look, who I am, that I've been needing to tell myself I'm beautiful. And I now feel that. So feel what you're feeling. Feel the sensations. Belly breathing. In and out. Be with yourself. Start to envelop a sense of more, perhaps, sensitivity through your fingers by moving your arms, if that is something you'd like to do. Waving your arms around, moving your arms only if you wish. This practice is about you. In your mind's eye, you're seeing that beautiful quality of yourself, that gift, that divine success, brave, creativity, creative, whatever it is. Feel it. What sensations are you feeling in your body? Good. And then I invite everyone to place one hand on the belly, one hand onto your heart, and give yourself permission to feel the breath in your body. You are alive. As long as you are alive, may you create. May you live in the ananda, the bliss. May you utilize the spirit with such beauty, gifts of cleverness and tranquility, and all that is spirit. Spirit encourages. Spirit is not afraid. Spirit wants you to grow. It is ego that wants to keep you safe and will often tell you, and it'll keep you really from doing the things you love to do because it wants to keep you safe. But being safe isn't being creative. Exploring and moving outside of the realms, of course, with caution of stability, knowing yourself, that's what this is about. But I invite you to feel the breath in your body and that you're alive. Fantastic. Then let's bring our hands together in unison, in prayer. Thumbs to the heart, and allow that your heart lifts, and roll your shoulders back so you feel a broadening in your heart. And remind yourself to continue to smile, have a sense of humor, for this practice it's fluid. No editing. Feel what you're feeling, and invite yourself to chant with me the sound of Om, which is the universal sound of consciousness and love. Oh yeah, love. That's all we need is love. Take a beautiful deep breath in, one big Om. And let that filter through, releasing your palms up on your thighs for daytime, palms down for evening, and just bow your face towards your heart, eyes closed, or drishti, and rest in that vibration. A couple more breaths there, just be with it. Yoga is about slowing down, enjoying life, not hustling and bustling and pushing. And then when you're ready to slowly awaken your heart, lifting it up a little bit more, rolling your shoulders back, face comes up, blink your eyes open, and hello, how are you? Good. For me, yoga, I'm constantly in my yoga practice. Stretch out your legs, thinking, moving, ebbing, and flowing. So when I come to the mat, sometimes I'm so full of energy that I just want to pow to you, and I know that's not going to help you. So I slow it down because this is recovery. Shake out your legs in front of you and do what you want to do with your legs. Move the bolster to the side if you're sitting on one, and let's party on. So today's practice, I really want to explore. I actually don't really know. I know my hips are saying something, my shoulders are saying something. I want to create throat chakra. So my word for me today is beautiful. What is your word? So throughout the practice, vocalize it. So vocalize it. When you start to feel like sticky and uncomfortable, say the word success, creativity, beautiful, sexy, whatever you want to say, that you are truly, wanting to manifest and know that you are that. Okay, so the first thing right off the hop, let's take the right heel in, bend the left knee, take the left knee out to the side, and just take your hands down onto the mat on either side of your right knee and stir that left leg. And noticing how that left hip feels, the knee feels, just stirring it around. You could do as you wish and just mirror me, mimic me. And then very mindfully, take your right heel out, bring your left heel in, and your right heel's out slightly. And again, you're playing. So whether you want to take your hands to the left, bowing, whatever works for you, feeling what you're feeling, just moving that right leg in internal, external rotation. Yeah, just like that. Good. And then taking your right heel in front of the left heel, sit up as tall as you feel comfortable. Reach your arms out as far as you can, straightening out your elbow creases. Then extend your wrists so your palms are pressing to the outer walls. Roll your shoulders back and just start to dance your shoulders and your jaw. La, 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 la. Fantastical. And then from there, really lengthen your arms out and still them. Pop your chest up a little bit more, knit the belly button in and press as hard as you can in your palms as if you're holding those walls from crushing you. No, that's not very nice. Is that from closing in on you? So expand yourself for 5. Breathe your breath in and out through your sinuses into the belly. Close your eyes for 4. Move your neck around for 3. Oh, I can feel that. For 2. Strong arms. Good. And then release your arms and feel that shoulder energy. Lean back. Left heel in front of right heel. Right arm comes up. Wave it around. And then bend your right elbow. Grab a hold of the left ear. And swivel your head, your neck that is, but keep your torso upright and then play with the left arm and notice how your throat chakra feels, that throat energy. And if you're not into chakras, fine, feel the energy in your neck, the neck muscles. What does this left arm need to do? I've been observing yoga for so long. A lot of people just get stuck. I feel that they don't know how to move and that's why you're here. Dance. Maybe you're not a dancer, that's okay. Breathe, because the dance starts with the breath. So breathe as bellowy as you can in your belly as you move that left arm or keep it static. And just enough anchorage in that left side of your head to swivel your head towards the right shoulder, but drop your right shoulder down for 5 more, for 4, for 3, 2, 1 more big breath there. Notice what you notice and then swivel back to center, release your arms. And then just a little cat-cow here. Hold the front of your knees, straighten out your arms, round your spine back as you exhale. So hollow the belly. And as you inhale, lift your heart, bend your elbows and pop your chest forward and play. Exhale back as deep as you want at your own pace. Inhale forward. You can lift the chin. You could do whatever you need to do to feel it in your neck as well. Couple more breaths. Tyson. Good. And then from there, let's take the left arm up as you still your cat-cow. Grab a hold of your right ear. Swivel your head sitting up nice and tall and play with your right arm. Oh my goodness, I can feel it. My neck's not moving very much today. It's not a judgment, the observation. I've been really holding back my words. These are curious times. I feel like everything I say, everyone's in such a lockhold of their own opinions, and I too, that there's such conflict. So I've been really guarding my words, and it made my neck stiff. And you understand, I know you understand. So moving your right arm as you wish. Feeling that swiveled neck. So you're bowing your neck towards the left, opening up the right side of your neck for 3. For 2. One more. Nice. And then release. Wow. Roll your shoulders, wiggle your jaw. Notice what you notice. Lean back. Take your feet out in front of you. Hold the front of your knees and go as wide as you need to. Booty and bellies need space. And lift up your heart. Draw the shoulders back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Feel that. Nice. And then from there, let's take ourselves into tabletop. So I like to use my blanket for my tabletop. So as you find your tabletop, front of your mat, make sure you have your blocks at the front of your mat as wide as your yoga mat. We're going to play a little bit in the shoulder region, and if you follow these episodes, I do often a lot of this because that's what our society actually needs right now karmically. So when you place your hands as wide as your mat, you start to swirl around in your cat-cow in any variation that you choose to do it in. Allow yourself to really feel it. It's not about what it looks like, it's what it feels like. Keep your toes curled under. I find that a lot of people have foot issues, so you gotta flex your feet and really flex your toes in towards your shins so that you can stretch. And there's no really stretching, it's lengthening the muscles to their fullest length. And then from there, start to sink your hips all the way back towards your heels. Gauge your hands as wide as your mat, and maybe turn your fingers out slightly by 10 degrees, and allow that your elbow creases face your index finger and thumbs, and start to float your knees up, and then line yourself up into a downward dog. Walk your feet further back, pedal your feet, bend your knees, and press one heel down at a time towards the mat. Doesn't have to touch the mat. And if that's hard on your wrists and your shoulders, then this is a practice that maybe you can bring your shoulders more forward, and that's less on your shoulders. And you can also come down onto the mat and play back in active child's pose and play in your cat-cow. You do you. So in this downward dog position, we're playing. Oh my goodness. Make sure your elbow creases are facing your thumbs and your index fingers. That keeps your upper arms externally rotating, keeping your chest broad. Now, if you're not in the down dog, I hope that you are able to do it at this point, because this is the next thing. From the down dog position, widen your feet as wide as your yoga mat, bend your knees, lift your heels, and start to open up the left arm. So as you open up that left arm, you're leaning towards the right hip, and you can move your right shoulder over your wrist. You're playing. This is all about play. And then release the left hand and lift up the right arm. So it's kind of like a cross between a down dog and variation of plank, especially if your shoulders don't like full flexion. Beautiful. Release that right hand. And this time we're going to walk our feet further back as wide as the mat and even wider than your mat. Even take your feet off the mat and come into a plank. In this plank position, rock back and forth on your toe pads, finding and creating strength. And remember, if you're feeling sticky and unable, remember, you can always lower your knees and say your word. Beautiful. What's your word? What's that throat chakra? And it doesn't have to be a plank. It could be a swirling around of the hips between a down dog and a wide leg plank. Oh, yeah. Good. And then let's all go into that wide leg down dog. And then come back into that wide leg plank as you in-breath, and then exhale into that wide leg down dog. Do that about 10 more times, really blossoming your bum by pressing your thigh bones back and apart. An inversion a day keeps the doctors away. In other words, a down dog a day keeps the doctors away. A lot of people have inversion tables. A down dog is equivalent. Give yourself that permission just to really utilize your own body muscles, your weight, and that is your exercise. That's how you keep yourself healthy. And as well as what you ingest mentally, spiritually, and physically. Yeah, what you eat, what you see, what you watch, what you hear. A couple more of these, wide legs. Good. Oh yeah, you're strong. You're stronger than you think. And then on your next in-breath in your plank, wide leg plank, lift the left hand to your heart. You've got this. Pivot to the inside of the left foot, outside of the right foot, and lift your heart up towards the sky and lift your hips up. Feel that energy. Reach that left arm up towards the sky. Say yes. Press the floor away with your right hand, externally rotating that right upper arm and lifting your right breast. Good. Exhale, release the left hand. Come back up onto your toe pads. Bend your knees if you need a break. Rest your knees. Come off your wrists. Take a little break. And for those who want to play back and forth in wide leg Plank and down dog. Please do for 2 more breaths. You know where we're going on this one, don't you? Make your breath your focus. It's the most healing part of your anatomy, to be able to breathe into your anatomy and move all that sticky stuff. Once again, plank, wide leg, right hand to heart, pivot to the inside of right foot, outside of left foot. Lift your heart towards the sky, lift your hips up towards the sky. Press the floor away with the left hand, reach that right arm up, smile at yourself for 3, for 2, tone that belly button in, and then release the right hand, blossom your bum, walk your feet hip distance apart, then exhale your knees to the mat, come off your wrist by pressing back into a child's pose, walk your elbows ahead, give yourself more room for your belly and your boobies, and sink back into your child's pose, bring your hands into prayer, walk your elbows a little bit more forward if flexion of your shoulders is okay for you. Tuck your head down and let your hands rest on the nape of your neck, or in the proximity of the flexibility that you have today. So flexibility is about your, of course, mobility. And mobility and flexibility come from your awareness of your strength. Strengthening your foundation and knowing yourself is important. No pushing. If you push yourself, you will not stretch. You're not a rubber band. You will only rip and tear. Just remember that. On your next in and out breath, let's all of us come back up onto our forearms and our knees in like a tabletop formation. And once you come onto your forearms, I'm going to suggest you take your yoga block between your index finger and thumbs. So like a frame, you can see that in the bird's eye. And once you do that, I'm just gonna move that out of the way. Once you do that, hug your inner elbows in, and this is great for throat chakra. Tone the belly button in, extend the crown of the head forward. Now just hover the knees up. You'll feel a lot of power in those upper shoulders, I understand. Really root down through the index finger and start to lift your hips higher. Maybe keep your knees bent, but lift your heels. Play on the balls of your feet so that your calves and the arches of your feet can get a little action. And then let your head drip between your upper arms and maybe walk your feet in closer, bending your knees and lifting your bum out of your armpits and your armpits out of your elbows. So you're lengthening your spine. So a lot of flexion for upper arms. Breathe your breath for 5, for 4. If you need to lower your knees, that's awesome. For 3, wherever you are, for 2. And then slowly lower the knees. Reassess your hands as wide as your yoga mat. Walk your knees a little further back than your hips. Pivot on your right knee, extend the right toes off the mat. Fully extend the left leg in line with your hips and open up that left shoulder. So take the time that you need to meet me on the mat here at this space. Your shape can look completely different. Move your jaw around. I think I do this in almost every episode because it's a necessity. It's like, you know, having ketchup in your fridge if you have kids in the house. As much as you're healthy, they all want ketchup. So reach that left leg up, bend the left knee and move it around. Lengthening that leg, but bending it at the same time so there's flexion extension. Move your jaw around, and then we're gonna play with this left leg. Land the left leg back down on the mat. Keep your right toes anchored in your right knee, but slide the left leg further back. So now you're bowing your spine. And now reach that left arm in full flexion over your head as much as you can. Turn the palm towards the floor, then towards the wall behind you. So you're turning your thumb up. And then broaden your chest as you press the floor away with your right hand and lift your heart up towards the sky and sing a song to yourself. Beautiful, sexy, whatever you want to say. And then when you're ready to exhale, release that left hand. Draw that left knee now up in towards your chest. Reassess that back right foot toes. Squeeze in as tight as you can, like a little seed, and hug, hug, hug for 5, 4. Push the floor away with both hands. 3, 2, and then release the left knee. Plant or flex your feet and sit back on your shins. Open up your chest and reach your arms back, but knit the belly button in so that you're not popping your ribs out. A lot of people pinch their lower back that way, and broaden in the collarbone. Probably in the bird's eye view is probably taking me out, but open like you're saying, yeah! And then roll your shoulders, release your arms, sway in your lower back. Really important to move the lower back. Come back into tabletop. Little cat-cow. And then let's pivot on that left knee, left toes off the mat. You've got it. Extend that right leg way out in line with the hip and start to play here. So when I say play, it is your play. If you were to write a play, or write poetry, or write music, write a song, write a story, what is it? And yoga is no different. It's your story. It's your expression of you. So play, opening, expression, hello, how are you? Noticing what you notice, and then landing that right leg firmly through the inner edge. Keep those left toes down so they're kickstand, they're pivoted. And that right leg goes further back as much as you can take, so you're bowing here. Can you see that in the bird's eye view? Press the floor away with the left hand, broaden in the collarbone, and reach back with that right arm. Wave it around, move your jaw, move your head, la 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 la. Feel your biceps fully extend as you express your arm. Good, and then on your next in-breath, let's pick up that right knee, release the right hand, and draw the right knee in towards your chest as you reassess that left foot behind you, tabletop. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze in for 5, for 4, 3, 2, and then release. Sit back on your plantar flexed shins, lift your heart, wave your spine around. I'm just gonna come up a little bit further here and just go, just like that. Beautiful. And then on your next in and out breath, let's come back into tabletop. Walk your knees further back behind you. I'm going to just release that block out to the side. I don't need it right now, so you can move your block out of the way. Right here, take your hands slightly ahead of your shoulders. Take your knees slightly further back. Then lift your feet up off the mat. You can bring them to touch. Turn your elbow creases to face the front of your mat, your fingers. And then start to move your pubis towards the floor as you bring it into extension, and bend your elbows, but keep your armpits lifting. And as you bend your elbows back toward your hips, then plantar flex your feet. You've got it. And then slowly lower down onto your chest. Take your right arm out perpendicular to the shoulder joint, 20 degrees below the right shoulder. Left arm at a right angle. Reassess your right side body, your hips, so you can slide onto right shoulder, right hip, right ankle. Flex your feet. Reassess the left arm so you can lift your heart. Now, if you have just had surgery on your chest for augmentations of any sorts, make sure you're not pressing yourself open, that you can still be leaning towards the floor. You can also let that top left leg come forward and just be here. For those, it's not a competition. If you're able to open up your chest to its fullest length of the pec muscles, then do it. Let's bend that left knee up if those have that left knee forward to support them. Breathe your breath. So wherever you are in your shape, make sure you're breathing, like literally mindfully breathing, belly breathing. So for those who are reaching that left leg up towards the sky, make sure that you're playing in a way that is kind. I watched a student yesterday, just in agony. I was just like, wow. I had to close my eyes and breathe because that person didn't want to listen to the cue, and that person was just continuously hurting herself. And I was thinking, not my circus, not my monkeys. And if that person asked for assistance, I would truly assist, yet they needed no assistance, okay? You see what I'm talking about? So be kind to yourself. Only you can heal yourself. So from here, let's squeeze those legs back together. Slowly roll back onto your tummy. This time we're going to stack right hand, left hand. Bend the knees, heels towards your bum. Let your forehead rest, and little windshield wipes. And we can all relate to that person. We've all pushed ourselves even though we were in pain. We create our own tsunamis. We create our own discomfort. We create our own pain. We create our own suffering. Pain is pain for sure. We cannot get around it. But suffering is when you hold on to your pain. Why hold on to? Exhale. Ready? Got it? Left arm goes out perpendicular, 20 degrees below the shoulder. Right arm goes out at a right angle. Lengthen those legs. Slide out through the left arm and smooth out through the right hip. Did I say the right hip? The left hip. The left shoulder. Again, if you've just had surgery, your chest muscles and your anterior shoulder muscles are quite tight, then you can bend that top right leg and let your face and your chest come closer towards the floor. And that's where you're at. That's enough. Breathe your breath. For those that are fully extended, remember, no competition. Lifting your heart, start to play with that top right leg. Noticing what you notice. And my left arm is 20 degrees below the shoulder. I'm rooting down through the base knuckle of the left hand. And remember, I cue a lot because this is a recovery practice. Lift and extend through the crown of the head. Some of you may be opening up through this right arm and this right knee. You could do whatever feels good to you. Again, wherever you are, breathe. Allow that there's a belly breath. Oh, dance your dance. Sing your song. What's your word? Beautiful. And then exhale, slowly migrate back onto your belly, bringing your left hand first, then your right hand on top. Heels towards your bum, little windshield wipes. Let your head rest. Breathe so fully into your lungs that your belly presses into the floor. Slowing it down, release the legs down towards the mat. Slide your hands to your lowest ribs, so find out where they are. They're the floating ribs. So once you plant your hands down there in the extension, tuck your toes towards your kneecaps. Really get into your toes and your knees. Tone the belly, lift your pubis up off the floor, and this is where we push toes, knees, and hands by straightening the arms. And there you are, you're in your tabletop, but lift that belly button in. I'm gonna reassess my knees onto my blanket. So from here, move through a little cat-cow. I always find cat-cows that intermission between asanas. And then from here, let's still that. Really work your tabletop solid through the tone of the belly and lengthen your neck and hover the knees up off the floor for 4, for 3, 2, and then slowly release them down. Pivot on your right knee. Take your right toes off the mat. I'm gonna move that bolster out of the way. Extend the left leg strong and back. Open up through that left arm. And we have played. So let's do this. Get into your butt flush a little bit more by wielding this left leg around. Good. Now tuck the left knee in towards your chest and start to migrate it towards the front of your mat. If it doesn't make it up towards the front, there, take it and move it. Reassess your back left toes. Find your blocks as wide as your yoga mat. I say this so much and people still don't do it. I let go, trust me. Heel toe your left foot right up against the block, which is right up against your yoga mat, because there is alignment, very important pieces. With your hands as wide as your mat on your blocks, with your left foot right up against the block, start to rock your hips back and forth. Back and forth. And I'm meant to teach. I have a lot of fire in me. So if there's perimeters that keep you safe, I will express them over and over again. Not to like make those who are, get annoyed with me, but that's your stuff, right? So just like my stuff, being annoyed with you, not putting the blocks where they're supposed to, is my stuff. So right hand down on the block, left hand onto the knee. Now pick up your right knee, lift your hips a little higher, knit the belly button in and start to twist and play in this. So again, even though there's perimeters and there are the safe, nets, you do you. If you need to keep your knee down and you want to just play in that position, God bless you. However you do, play. Expression. So really think about breathing into your side ribs, breathing into those side ribs, bending and extending knees. Dance the dance. It's a twist. And then when you're ready, let's lower that right knee, come up onto your finger pads and extend your spine forward, because now we're going to go a little further in the hamstrings. Start to hover your right knee up off the mat and then lengthen your left leg straight. Lift your right heel, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, and then let's reassess that right foot forward so you can place the heel down. Yeah, that's going to be a big calf lengthening, isn't it? So wherever that looks for you, you might have to reassess your right foot even further forward. Squeeze your inner thighs, lengthen through the crown of the head so your left hand, left foot, and your blocks are all in line. Tone the belly button and really lengthen through the crown of the head. You want to secure your feet, isometrically draw them towards each other so your legs get stronger. Soften your left knee, and then let's see if we can bring both hands into prayer at the heart center as you maintain the length of your spine. Now if you feel like you're wobbling, fingertips come back down, lift your right heel and pause here and blossom your bum and squeeze your inner thighs towards each other, or take your right foot wider wherever you may be, but your spine is lengthening. It's not up, it's lengthening parallel to the floor for 5, for 4, wherever you need to be, for 3, for 2, and then mindfully lift that right heel, heel toe slightly back, lower the right knee off your blocks, slide that left leg back, fully extending it all the way back. Reassess your hands And then like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, bend that left knee out to the side and play with it. Oh, yeah, good stuff, good stuff. Land that left foot, bent knee up towards your hip, land that left foot in line with your left hip, and then open up through the left arm. Got it? Little tricky stuff, eh? Tone the belly button in and dance. Give yourself a dance. Yeah, I love dancing. And then exhale that left hand, reach that left leg straight back, and we're gonna cross it all the way over to the right side. Once you cross it over to the right side, press both hands into the mat, as wide as your mat, off your blocks, knit the belly button in. Feel that energy. Breathe into the right hip and left hip. So drop the left hip a little bit, but straighten out your arms and extend through the crown of the head for 3. Breathe into that left hip for 2. And then very mindfully drip the left knee to join right knee. Plant or flex your feet. Sit back on your shins, off your wrists. Okay, so let's see. How does that feel? Like there's so much going on in that. Your whole body is waking up. Let's do the other side. Tabletop. Hover the knees up off the mat first, just for 5. Feel the strength of your tabletop. Knit the belly button in. Crown of the head reaches forward. Your spine is neutral. 3, 2, 1. Lower the knees. Pivot on your left knee. Left toes off the mat. Fully extend your right arm and right leg. Go up, or your right leg. Your right arm goes up. Your right leg goes, yay-ha! Feeling what you're feeling. Notice what you notice. And then just like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant, you're just playing with it. Oh, yeah. Do. Draw that right foot forward. Check it out. Notice if you can get it all the way to the front of the mat. If not, you take it there. Find your yoga blocks as wide as your mat. Reassess your right foot up against the block as wide as your mat. Reassess that back left knee and just move your hips. Moving your hips. So much anguish, anxiety that gets stuck in the throat chakra creates a lack of fluidity in the pelvis, and creativity and stability are lost, and therefore people get cranky hips. And it could be something that is a lifestyle as well, but that lifestyle means that you're not feeling secure and safe. I know people who push so fast, so hard that they don't take a breath and they're always hurting. Just FYI. So from there, still that rock and roll. Right hand or left hand stays on the block. Right hand goes onto the right knee. When you're ready, squeeze your inner thighs. Pick up that left knee. Open up your chest towards that right knee and open up in a twist again. That left knee could stay down, but you're broadening in your chest. So make sure that that left shoulder is externally rotating. The left elbow crease is facing your index finger and thumb. Those are the perimeters that keep us safe. Feel the beauty of your existence. What do you really want to say here? Lengthen the neck. Dance your dance. I could do this all day long. Oh, wait, I do. Slowly lower that left knee. Come up onto your finger pads. Reassess so that you're now in a low lunge. Your neck is facing forward. I like to come up onto my finger pads and then start to hover that left knee and begin to straighten your right leg, but keep your spine smooth. So again, I like to bend the leading right leg, step the left foot forward, find the left heel, and lengthen my spine and staying on my finger pads. Some of you do need to choose to find a different length, height in your blocks to make this more viable, to make it more successful for you. I honestly suggest you do so that you can really feel like, oh, there it is. Squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. Find the length in your spine to your best stability, no matter what level your blocks are at. Some of you may have your hands on the floor, but if you're doing one of these round backs, that's not the practice. You want to be able to lengthen your spine, squeeze your inner thighs towards each other. You can soften that leading right leg, and then isometrically work your feet and bring your hands into Anjali Mudra at your heart center, or simply keep them on the blocks. But remember, you're not pushing into your blocks so that they're wavering. You're using your leg muscles to root down to secure yourself. For 5, for 4, for 3, for 2, it doesn't have to be static either. And then very mindfully bend the knees off the block. So you soften both knees, lower the left knee. Got it? Good. Hands off the blocks, sweep that right leg straight back, reassess your hands down on the mat. And then from there, cross that right leg all the way over to the left and feel, oh wait, I actually want to do this one first. Bend the right knee up. Yeah, there we go. Oh, there it is, like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. And then extend that right leg straight out in line with the hip to the inner edge of the dorsiflexed foot. So you're really flexing your foot. You can watch the bird's eye view. Knit the belly button in and then open up through that right shoulder. Hello, how are you? So broadening in the chest is really important. So you draw your shoulder blades towards each other. Got it? Good. Release the right hand. Fully extend that beautiful right leg straight back and then cross it over to the left. Press the floor away with both hands, extend the neck, tone the belly button in, and just play with that right hip. See if you can dip it down a tad. You'll feel quadratus lumborum, erector spinae, have a tomato. Feel you. Couple more breaths. So you're tilting it down slightly, but you're knitting the belly button in. You may feel it, you may not. And then when you're ready to drip the right knee to join left knee, plantar flex both feet, sit on your shins, off your wrists, rotate your wrists, and say hello. I like to spread my fingers and then curl them in and squeeze them and extend them because that is like yoga for the hands. Feeling that. Bingo! Feel it, I'm feeling it. And then relax. Take a deep breath in. Surrendering. And now we're going to, I invite you to swing your legs to the front of your mat. Find your caboose, your bum. I like to take my yoga blanket at this point to the very back of my mat because I know we are going to lay down. Once you take your feet out in front of you, I invite everyone just to take a moment just to sit up nice and tall, whether your legs are wide apart or together, but you're drawing your shoulders back, you're lifting your heart up. Okay. Hold the front of the knees and then start to round your spine from the coccyx, the very root of your sacral, your root chakra, into sacrum, into your lower donic curve. So you're holding the front of the knees, knit the belly button in, start to teeter your heels up, slide your toes as you roll from sacrum to lumbar, to middle, to shoulder blades, and then hug your knees in your chest. Slide your blanket underneath your occipital, the occiput bone, and then extend your legs up. Arms kick them out to the side, and just give your legs a little shake. One of my favorite ones for recovery, and that is, halasana plow pose. And I understand a lot of us don't have that agility yet. So let's do this. Let's just play. Take that blanket out from beneath your head because we don't want to have anything underneath the blanket when we do this. Take your arms down by your side. Keep your legs up. They can be soft. They don't have to be hardcore straight legs, especially hamstring stuff. Tuck your arms underneath as much as you can, palms down. Make sure you don't have a ponytail. That would not work well for you. So guys and girls, no yoga buns in the back of your occiput. Take it at the top of your head, if anything. So from here, let's just see if we can lift the bum up off the floor and keep your shoulders down. Lift the bum up off the floor, shoulders stay down. And then if you want, dorsiflex those feet, point those feet, and then start to lift your bum up even more by pressing into your arms. See if you can curl up, bend your elbows, hold your middle back, straighten your legs, find your toes maybe on the mat or maybe not. Maybe your knees bend, maybe your feet are up in the air, but find your middle back. Find your middle back. Knit the belly button in. Keep your chin out of your chest. You're pressing into your occiput, the occipital bone. So again, if this is too complex for you today, I completely understand. It is a shoulder stand. Maybe you're here. Maybe you're playing with it. Maybe you're just enjoying your legs up and shaking them out. Awesome. 5 more breaths wherever you choose to be. Squeeze your inner thighs in, back, and apart. Can you lift your tailbone up towards the sky a little bit more? Plant the shoulder blades down, chin out of your chest. And then very mindfully, I could do this for another 10 minutes. But yeah, let's move on. For those that are up in that plow pose, slowly root your hands and roll yourself down. Keep your shoulders anchored as much as you can. And then bend your knees into your chest. Give yourself a hug. Open your knees really wide with that hug. So we're starting to work the inner thighs, magnus, longus, and brevis. So panatus as well. You could take your blanket underneath your occipital right now. Hold your inner knee creases. Get right into them. Get your shoulder blades, reassess your sacrum. Flex your feet and rotate your ankles. Allow your knees to open up so those muscles go to their full length without pulling them down. No pulling, no pushing, no shoving your body. Please do not do that. And then play with your shins. Maybe one shin stretches out. You get all, when I say stretch, just remember that there's no elastic bands in your body, except for your skin perhaps. You are literally contracting eccentrically and concentrically your muscles. You're lengthening them to their fullest length and you're shortening them to their shortest length. Okay? So get that. And then play, 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 play. And then hug your knees back in towards the center and release your feet to the mat. And then take a moment to reassess your lower back. And then release your arms out to the side. Take them out a little higher. Heel toe your feet as wide as your yoga mat and begin to windshield wipe your legs. Close your eyes and follow your breath. This is the part where we slow down and stop the insanity of going so far and pushing and shoving. Okay? Because sometimes as beginners, we work so hard in getting into a posture that we're not breathing. So inhale slowly to center. Full breath. And then when you exhale, exhale the knees to the other side. So you're pivoting on the inner and outer edges of your feet. Got it? This is therapeutic. Only then when you inhale do your knees come up to center, slow down your breath, and you exhale them to the other side. Take your time. This is our final movement of postures for the 45-minute practice or so. You know me, I most often go over about 5 or 6 minutes, sometimes 10. Just feel the sacral energy. You're moving in an internal external rotation of the femur bones of the hips. What that does is it wakes up all of the nervous system, especially sciatica. You know, not that it's going to make it uncomfortable, but it's giving the tissues, the muscles that support all your nerves in that area, some flexion, some extension, some balance, some exercise, some movement. Next in-breath, when your knees come to center, I'm going to offer that you find that bolster, slide it underneath your thigh flesh, keep your sacrum down, and bring the soles of your feet together in a Supta Baddha Konasana. And then take one hand to your belly flesh and one hand to your heart. And now I'm most definitely going over a couple of minutes, so stay with me. Relax. The final position, Supta Baddha Konasana. Close your eyes, hand on your heart, hand on your belly, and remember the word. What is the soul wanting you to say about yourself? Sexy, beautiful, successful, creative, brave, strong, vivacious. What is it? Something, of course, positive and for the greater good. And we all know beautiful is the beauty of creation. We're all beautiful in our imperfections. Follow your breath. Keep your chin tucked in towards the notch of your throat, a little bit more for those that have really overextended necks. Pay attention to your breath. Pay attention to your heartbeat. Can you feel your heartbeat? Soften. It's okay. Don't worry about time. I've got you. Let your jaw relax. You are relaxed. Go to your mind's eye and see yourself in the quality of spirit, of soul. Use your imagination, your creations to see the manifestation of your dreams. How beautiful it is just to slow down. I hope you feel that there's a little piece of that practice today that really resonated with you. And if not, that's okay too. Life is fluid. Maybe the reward of just being in the fluidity of your practice will feel much better later on today. I invite everyone to stretch their arms overhead, start to engage your knees in towards your heart center, gingerly, very mindfully, rock from sacrum to sacrum, meaning left sacrum, left, right sacrum. A little windshield wipe of the legs, and then eventually maybe a shaking out of the legs, whatever feels good to you. If you like to cross your ankles and hold your knees and roll up into a seat, go for it. If you prefer to roll to a side, give yourself a squeeze, and then begin the ascension upward. Finding your way onto your sitting bones, cross-legged or any seat that works for you. Let us take a moment just to thank ourselves for being here right now. Gratitude. I'm all sweaty and it's a sticky day. Yeah. One hand to the heart, one hand to the belly. And rest. Close your eyes. Om Namah Shivaya. The light is always there. It's never absent. Sometimes we just dull or dim it by cloaking it with self-doubt. I'm offering that today is a day that you encourage kind words of love, unconditional love, happiness, joy, bliss, ananda. Look in the mirror and say how beautiful, powerful, strong you are. What's your word of the day that encourages you to be enlightened, to reach, to ascend, to expand? Feel your breath, feel your heartbeat. From my light to your light, namaste. Once again, thank you. And if you have any questions, inquiries, please email me info@teresagagnino.com and any comments you'd like to share. And join me in the meditation and restoring breath if that feels something that you'd like to do. But in other words, you've already done 45 minutes. That's enough. Sometimes we push it. Don't push. Slow down. Namaste.